that's what I did. I didn't really focus on much. I didn't get too caught up in the whole school thing, to be honest with you. I was just I was just focused on me. Just trying to kill everything.
Alright, so murdering your senior year, you run through your senior year, ended off winning the chip, you start getting ready for your college season. What was the determining factor? Before we get to the determining factor, how was like your college visits and stuff like that when you did take your visits to other colleges? What was that experience like, stepping on other campuses and stuff like that?
This is clean. Yeah. Like, we keeping it clean here. The visits was amazing.
Yeah, you had a good time. You had a great time.
Oh man, the visits was amazing. Yeah, amazing.
So you start like looking forward to it, like, yo, this is the life. Like, I can't wait till I live this life. College scene.
Yeah, college scene was unbelievable. Kansas was my first visit. Took my first visit to Kansas, and I told my parents after like the second day, I would leave them that night, and then we'll meet again in the morning for like breakfast. And I ran into them one morning. I'm like, yo, I'm ready to commit. Like, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to take no more visits. This is it. This is the place.
Right.
But my mom really wanted me to go to UConn. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to Kansas. I ain't gonna lie. My mom wanted me to go to UConn. Because it was close.
Right, it was close to be able to come to the game.
Right.
All right, so when did you decide that, hey, I'm going, UConn's the school I'm going to go to?
Well, she knew that the same thing that happened to me in Kansas will most likely happen to me in UConn in terms of the visit. Because I was sold with the visit. I'm ready to commit. So we end up going to UConn next visit. And of course the same thing happened. I was like, this is great. And it just seemed right. It just seemed, and it was close. Like I said, it was close. It was right there in Connecticut. Hop, skip, and a jump from home. So.
All right. So you get to UConn freshman year. Now you have a battle with life instead of on the court. You have a battle off the court. Speak on a little bit of that chapter. When I read it and like went back and I was doing my homework, I'm like, realizing like, yo, you was out for 14 months due to, you know what I'm saying, your situation medically, you know what I'm saying. Speak on that, like, experience, like, what was going through your mind, like, when you got the news, like, everything was going on.
Man, I had one of the most humbling experiences that could happen to a human being happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I had a brain bleed at 17 years old. I spent my 18th birthday in ICU. I was in ICU for 2 weeks with this brain bleed. It was something I was just born with, you know. It was eventually bound to happen. Fast forward, I couldn't do anything strenuous for 2 years. You know what I mean? I couldn't lift a weight. I couldn't run. I couldn't jump. I wasn't doing nothing. They told me not to do nothing strenuous.
Right, so all that right there just kind of like, basketball was kind of taken away from you, kind of humble like about life. You start looking at life like a whole totally different after that.
Yeah, it was very humbling. The one thing I did very well was taken from me. So I had to, humble down. Understand how to become a person, a better man, a better citizen, you know what I'm saying, a human being. I did those things. I waited my turn until I got that clearance. The doctor said you could work out. And
so you battled through that and was out for a long time. So getting the news that, yo, you cleared to play, like, talk about that initial feeling when you got the news you was cleared to play.
It was a great feeling, because, Coach Calhoun, shout out to Coach Calhoun. I used to be watching the game, sitting at home, and hearing him say, yo, the best player is not even on the team, on the court right now. I used to hear that all the time. He was talking about me, so he was always keeping me in people's minds, which was good, not to be forgotten about, you know what I mean? So, but I honestly only had like 3 months to try to get ready.
Right, to get ready.
You know what I'm saying? For a college season.
Yeah. So you're going into your sophomore year, right? You're getting ready for the season to start. We ain't gonna get all, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get to you, Marcus Williams, whatever happened, the situation. What did you learn from that experience early on? What lesson did you learn from that?
Once again, very humbling experience. You know what I'm saying? I learned I'll never embarrass my family.
Right.
My family like that ever again.
Right.
And that was all I needed from that.
And it was like back to work. Now you're just gonna focus on ball. Like after all that situation went through. So finally, you get back on the court. Right. I'm pretty sure people are heckling you like you're a troublemaker. So. I know you get into a zone where it's like, no, I'm going to go out here and prove myself and do what I do. So you're on the court, finally you start playing. What's that initial feeling? You finally stepped on the court at UConn, you're getting busy, putting up numbers. Talk about that.
Man, I was happy just to get back out there, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I just wasn't ready that year. That was my sophomore year, really my first year playing college ball, and I just ain't had no legs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From 2 years off. I just didn't have it. Right. It was probably once again, another humbling experience. Made me question, could I do this anymore?
Right.
Did I want to do it anymore? Because I had an awful season in my eyes, you know what I mean?
Well, you hold yourself to a high regard, bro, because you're putting up, listen, to come back after that long of a break, I don't think you're giving yourself much credit, bro. Like,
no, that first year, trust me, that first year is not the year you're talking about. You're talking about my sophomore year, my junior year. Because after that year where I didn't perform well, I ain't had no legs, literally. I just ran the stadium stairs in the hot sun all day long. That's all until I couldn't run no more. That's what I used to do, to build my legs back that summer. And that junior year when I came back, it was curtains. I felt like the old me again, you know what I'm saying? That high school me.
High school you. So didn't you get your junior year? You was killing. Did you get hurt in the tournament that year?
First game of the tournament.
First game of the tournament.
First game of the tournament. And I was out. I was leaving.
So you rocking and rolling, right? It's like finally I get back on the court. I'm playing well. I'm doing my thing. We get to March Madness. You get out there. You get hurt. What's going through your mind at that point?
That word humbling again. You know what I mean? That word humbling. My life has been a very humbling experience.
Right.
So I was leaving. I was hearing from everybody, agents and top 20 pick. I was leaving. There was no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I tore my knee up like 6 minutes into the game. As soon as the game started. And it forced me to come back. You know what I mean? To school, and I had to fight through adversity again, you know what I mean? But my life's been full of that.
So the recovery process of coming back from an injury, like, what's that grind like every day? Like getting up early ahead of everybody and like putting in that extra work to get back. Like, tell us about that grind to get back.
It's tough, man. Whenever you deal with injuries, man. I tore my ACL. You know, as a guard, I do a lot of cutting, running, jumping. So. That's everything. So I had to try to build it up as best as I could in a short amount of time, too, because I didn't want to miss no time. I wanted to be back. Because I had larger goals, you know what I'm saying? So I came back from that ACL in like 6 months, which is pretty fast. Yeah.
That's pretty fast. So talk about the competition level playing at the Big East, sophomore, junior season. Like, what's that action like, man? Like, what's the toughest place? Building or like playing where it was like dudes was like really getting on you.
Yeah, we had Pitt is always tough, man. Pitt is always tough to play at. They fans are right on top of you, screaming at you, right? So Pitt is tough, definitely. But you know that year, I remember the Big East at that time. There was no conference like it. It was the best it was.
Special, man.
It was the best it was, man. There's so many places that's tough. Louisville's tough to play at. Pitt was tough to play at. Cuse, of course, is tough to play at. Cuse, when they got the big games, Cuse will open up the whole other side of the dome.
How was it shooting in that backdrop? Because I hear some people like, yo, that be making like a difference and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, the depth perception definitely does affect people differently, you know what I'm saying? But you just gotta focus on the rim. Trying to focus on nothing else, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So you're playing in hostile environments, playing against good competition. So come back, ready to rock and roll for your senior season. What's your mindset going into your senior season? College, obviously, you know your goal is to get to the league. That's the next step. So what's your mindset going in that senior year?
I really wanted to win. I wanted to win a championship. That was my biggest mindset because I knew if I did that, everything else, So I was trying to win the championship. So I was doing a lot of leading that year, trying to bring the guys with me. We had a good team. Okay. We were expected to be good, and we made a run at it. We went to the Final Four.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
go ahead, man. Oh, appreciate you giving us a nice little time check. So your Final Four, your senior season. What's that March Madness experience like? Taking your team, getting all the way to the Final Four, and we will highlight that shot you hit against Gonzaga. Did you hit a shot against Gonzaga that was crazy? That got it to overtime.
Yeah, that was I think that was my junior year too, though.
That's your junior year?
Might even my senior year. I can't remember. It's a big shot though. It was out in Washington. We was playing them. Yeah, that was a huge shot. I remember that. I remember that game, man, very well. I was playing against Jeremy Pargo.
Tough.
Pargo was tough around that time, so that was a good little measuring stick battle. You know what I mean? I came out on top.
Right. Who was some of the teammates when you played at UConn, like some of the guys that you was close with, that you kind of kicked it with like all the time, like you consider like your bros, like to this day, like just name a few of them?
We was a real close team. You know what I mean? That's why I think we had so much success. But Hashim Tabit, who was the number 2 pick. You know what I mean? Jeff Adrian, real good friend of mine. Yeah. Jerome Dyson, probably one of the toughest players I ever played with at any level. Kemba Walker, the young pup. You know what I'm saying?
That must have been some battle. How was Calhoun practice-wise? Like how was that? How was you guys with practice and stuff?
We used to go at it. Yeah, we used to go at it. He used to let us go at it. That's one thing I loved about practice.